I found cigarette ash in the passenger seat of Shen Chu's luxury car. He casually dismissed it, saying his new assistant didn't know better. I asked for a divorce. He looked at me in disbelief. Just because of this. Just because of this. Actually, I'm not that petty. It's just that when I got into the passenger seat of his Panamera ... and just took out my cigarette case, he immediately snatched it and threw it out the window. With a look of disgust, "How many times have I told you not to smoke in my car?" For a moment, I felt a bitter smile form. I put away my lighter, so when I saw ash in his car ... I knew it wasn't about him having a phobia, it was about who he was with. Clearly, I wasn't someone he'd break his rules for. 3 years of marriage ... Shen Chu went from a company newbie to a career woman. Those familiar with her called her Mr. Shen. I was just the kept man trailing behind Shen Chu. No one knew ... that when I started the business with Shen Chu, she had a miscarriage after drinking with clients. I told her to rest at home. She didn't want to. I couldn't bear it, so I stepped back, contented to support her from behind the scenes. It's just that Shen Chu seemed to have forgotten ... that I was also a sharp businessman once. I willingly took a backseat because I cared for her. Now, in her eyes, I'm just a freeloader at the company. I sent her the divorce papers. Shen Chu was stunned. "What do you mean? Liu Mingsu and ... Are you seeing someone else?" I gave a bitter laugh. "Don't you know whether I am or not?" She took a deep breath. "So it's because we haven't had children after 3 years of marriage. Didn't I tell you I don't want any? Can you guys stop pressuring me?" "By you guys, do you mean my parents?" "Last Dragon Boat Festival, when we went home for dinner ... my mom kept hinting about having children. Shen Chu wasn't happy. She was annoyed with my mom, initially claiming she wasn't well. After I stepped back, I spent every day cooking and making soup for her. Her health had long since recovered. It wasn't me who took out the cigarette case ... Just about to let it ... when a hand slapped my cigarette away. "I told you ... not to smoke in front of me." I froze, looking at the red mark on the back of my hand from her slap. Suddenly, I was furious. "Other people can smoke in your car ... but I can't, right? Your phobia is only directed at me. And you ask me why I want a divorce. What do you think?" It was the first time I'd yelled at her. Shen Chu was stunned for a moment, then she reacted, and was speechless. "Sign the papers, let's part ways amicably." Seeing I was serious about the divorce, Shen Chu became angry. "He's a new hire this year. He has resources, otherwise, I wouldn't put up with him. Liu Mingxuan, if you weren't so hands-off ... I wouldn't be so tired ... Shen Chu probably didn't realize that when she complained about me ... her eyes were full of disdain. Not resentment, purely looking down on me. I couldn't help but scoff. "If you're so tired ... and carrying dead weight like me ... why not just divorce me? Sign it." Seeing my insistence on divorce ... I don't know why ... she threw a tantrum and refused to sign. She just kicked me out. When I came out ... the office area outside was silent. I immediately saw that young man. He spoke to me sarcastically. "Oh, it's Brother Liu. Mr. Shen is just stressed out. That's why she's so angry. Don't mind her." I glanced at his name tag. Executive assistant. So he was the one smoking. No wonder Shen Chu has a puppy like this around. Naturally, she looks down on me. I ignored him and turned to leave, but he followed me. "Liu Mingxuan, if I were you, I'd leave sooner rather than later. Being a kept man isn't that easy, especially when you're useless and can't help her with anything." He was certain I was just a freeloader. Now his tone towards me wasn't even respectful. I looked at him ... reached out and took his name tag. I messed with it a bit, furrowing my brow. "You think I rely on her? What else? Mr. Shen works so hard. A man like you doesn't deserve her. Just get lost, don't come to the company anymore. So you don't make Mr. Shen angry." He snatched the name tag back, clipped it to his collar, and turned to leave. I watched his retreating figure and scoffed. Everyone says I'm the little man behind Shen Chu, but no one knows ... that when Shen Chu's company was just starting and had cash flow problems ... it was my family who invested 3 million yuan to revive her company. After things got on track ... Shen Chu worked very hard to help her drink less ... and to smooth her path ... I privately contacted my father's good friends and directed all their orders to Shen Chu's company. That's how she rose so quickly and became a powerful businesswoman. Now that the company is stable ... she wants to burn bridges and look down on me. Shen Chu probably forgot how humble she was when she begged me for help, It's only been 3 years. Perhaps seeing our family move from a villa to a large apartment ... and then to a small 3-bedroom ... made her think my family had fallen on hard times. I couldn't help but laugh. My parents just felt the villa was too big, too lonely for just the two of them, so they moved. In reality, we still have the villa and the large apartment. After leaving, I went straight home, seeing my state. My mom ... frowned deeply. Why are you back alone? Where's Xiaochu? Mom, Dad ... I want a divorce. My mom was shocked. Why do you want a divorce all of a sudden? Have you thought it through? My dad also had a grim expression. Getting a divorce after just 3 years. Is it because we urged her to have a child last time and she got angry? I took a drag of my cigarette and sighed. She thinks I'm a freeloader now, that I'm not good enough for her. Hearing this, my parents laughed. They probably thought our Liu family had fallen on hard times. You're not working now, so she used you and then kicked you to the curb. Wants to dump you. Is she seeing someone else? I nodded ... pretty much. Emotional cheating is still cheating, even if I wasn't completely sure ... Seeing Shen Chu's attitude towards that boy ... I could guess, they must be more than just friends. My mom slammed the table. She's cheating and has the nerve to look down on you. If that's the case ... then get divorced. I couldn't help but feel a bit wronged. My mom looked at me and consoled me. Don't worry. Our Liu family isn't one to cling to someone. We don't need the Shen family's company. We still have some businesses of our own. My dad pulled me into the study and handed me a stack of documents. When I opened them ... I was shocked. Dad ... You have so many businesses. My dad looked proud. Of course, you need the right tools for the job. We help those who can help themselves, not the perpetually poor. That 3 million was just a drop in the bucket. If I had thrown 300 million at her ... she would have jumped at it, clinging to us and sucking us dry. Your mom and I initially wanted her to become part of our family, to live a good life with you, but we didn't expect her to be so ungrateful. Turning around and showing her true colors, since that's the case ... Let's not be polite with her. Go for it. I finally felt relieved. We don't need someone like her. We have money ... with my dad's support. I'm going to let loose. I used to think our family had at most 10 or 20 million. But now it seems like it's more than 10 times that. I nodded and immediately contacted my dad's old business partners. My dad invited his return to the business world, and that he was handing everything over to me. Hearing him say this ... the uncles were delighted. They patted me on the shoulder. Mingsu and ... your dad has finally come around. He retired early, saying he wanted to enjoy his grandchildren. But now, 3 years later, he's back for you. I felt a little ashamed. It's all for me. I can't just laze around at home at my age. It's better to go out and make something of myself. That's right, come and train at my company first. Uncle Huan, who had watched me grow up, offered me a helping hand. Come to my place and work for a while, see how it goes, then you can gradually take over. You're not in a hurry anyway, just treat it as playing around. And I have a project that's just starting up. You can help me out with it. How about that? No problem, I agreed immediately. My dad smiled. After this dinner ... the whole market changed. Although my dad wasn't actively involved in business, his legend still lived on. As his son, I naturally benefited from his reputation. Uncle Huan was the first to approach me. Of course, not just because of our long-standing relationship, but more because he valued our family's resources to support the Shen family before. My dad's connections were also used on Shen Chu. That's why Shen Chu climbed so fast. Now it's different, since I've decided to take action ... The Shen family is out of the picture. After dinner ... I went back to my small apartment and started packing. After I finished packing ... Shen Chu came back, smelling of alcohol. Drunk. Unsurprisingly, it was that young man who brought her back. Shen Chu scoffed when she saw me. But then she saw my luggage ... and immediately got angry. Liu Mingxuan, what are you trying to do? Get a divorce. Didn't I already tell you? I handed her the printed divorce agreement. Return the 3 million I invested. I don't want anything else, just sign it. After all, someone's waiting. My insinuation ... made Shen Chu's face flush red. Just you wait. Fine. See you at the Civil Affairs Bureau at 9 a.m. tomorrow. With that, I dragged my suitcase and left. Before I left ... the man next to her sneered at me. I ignored him. You can have her. I don't want her anymore. I don't want her anymore. Back at my parents' place ... That guy quickly sent me a friend request. I clicked on it and found out his name was Lin Dao. He sent me a video. It was Shen Chu lying in bed, her fingers intertwined with his. The bottom of the video showed Shen Chu's nightgown. When she came home, Shen Chu was still wearing her regular clothes. Now she's changed into a nightgown. Besides Lin Dao, who else could be at home? This guy really doesn't hold back. That's good, since she's already unfaithful. Might as well just get divorced, I thought for a moment and sent Lin Dao a message. Did she sign the divorce agreement? Lin Dao. Don't tell me you're that unattractive. You got her into bed. And she's still not willing to give you a title? Lin Dao was immediately enraged. I was about to send him a meme when a red exclamation mark popped up. Can't handle the truth. I chuckled and put away my phone, about to rest, when someone started banging on the door. Liu Mingxuan, get out here. You punk, you dare ask for a divorce. What do you think you are? Get out here. I jumped up, startled. Who is it? My parents were also woken up by the noise. They opened the door and let the person in. It was Shen Chu's older sister, Shen Ling. The Shen family parasite does nothing. Just eats, drinks, and plays, along with her husband, Zhang Jiqian, who was now standing in the living room like a ruffled chicken. Seeing me, Shen Ling sneered, her nose in the air. Uncle, auntie. You've raised a fine son. Raising Liu Mingxuan like this is truly an eye-opener. You flatter me, my son is great. My mom retorted, sitting back on the sofa, crossing her legs, and looking at them. Shen Ling was taken aback. Before, even if they weren't overly polite, at least they wouldn't have this attitude. She was stunned for a moment, unsure of what to say, but Zhang Jiqian spoke up. I say, your Liu family is really unreasonable. After 3 years of FRELADING. He just wants a divorce. When Shen Chu called us, she said Liu Mingxuan asked for a divorce and wants 3 million, so he just wants a piece of the pie, right? I scoffed. Shen Chu is worth more than 30 million now. Is it wrong for me to take back my 3 million? If you think it's too much, I can sue. I'll ask my lawyer tomorrow. She cheated, so she's at fault. Maybe I can get even more. What did you say? You're slandering her. I shoved the video Lin Dao gave me in front of them. Take a good look, they're in bed together. Shouldn't I get a divorce? They didn't expect this. Thanks to Lin Dao, Shen Chu's face was very clear in the video. Her luscious red lips and the sounds coming from her mouth. Even Shen Ling blushed watching it. My mom slammed the table. What a fine daughter your Shen family has raised. Shameless. Cheating on her husband and bringing someone home to mess around. And she dares to question my son. Shen Ling. Is this how you teach your sister? Shen Ling didn't expect this turn of events. Her face turned crimson. She lived like a queen thanks to Shen Chu, buying jewelry until her hands were soft, strutting around at banquets, acting superior, unaware that it was all thanks to our Liu family. And now she has the nerve to come and question us. I was caught off guard by this video. I raised an eyebrow. Go back and tell Shen Chu to sign the divorce papers, otherwise I'll release this video. Our Liu family isn't what it used to be, so I have nothing to lose. Your Shen family is different. Your Shen family is different. You're just upstarts with no real power. Hearing me say this. Shen Ling could probably imagine what would happen if Shen Chu fell. Their family would be ruined. She was scared. And Zhang Jiqian even more so. You can't do that. They were married for 3 years. I ignored them and said, I'll give you 3 days. If Shen Chu doesn't agree to the divorce, I'll contact the media and release the video. Let's see what your Shen family will do then. Hearing this. They panicked. Shen Ling stammered for a while, speechless. My mom opened the door and kicked them out. She turned to me. I should have known they were so low class. I should have confronted them earlier. Why wait until now? You're too soft-hearted sometimes. I sigh. It wasn't that I was soft-hearted. I wanted to have a good life with Shen Chu at first. When we first met. I had a good impression of her. She looked innocent and pure, like she came from a good family. But I was deceived by her appearance. After she used me to achieve her goals, she grew tired of me. We were quite happy when we first got married. Then Shen Chu had the miscarriage, and I stepped back. She experienced the luxuries of high society and saw so many successful people around her, so many temptations out there. Shen Chu changed. She became cold and distant. We talked less and less. My disappointment in her grew day by day. Until today, I didn't say much, just waited patiently. Sure enough, 3 days later, Shen Chu contacted me and asked to meet at the Civil Affairs Bureau. When we got there she didn't show any remorse. Just looked at me. Liu Mingxuan, you really have guts. You actually managed to convince my sister to help you get a divorce. I'll grant your wish, but I'll give you the money. And your Liu family better not come back begging. I was suddenly amused. Don't worry, I'll return those words to you. After the divorce, don't come bothering me. Don't make me look down on you even more. Lin Dao came with her. He put his arm around Shen Chu's shoulder and scoffed. It's just a divorce, dumping a freeloader like you. Her path will only be smoother from now on. I didn't waste any words. And went through the divorce procedures with her. There's still a 1-month cooling off period. I prayed that nothing would happen during this month. If Shen Chu saw that our family still had resources and came crawling back, it wouldn't be good. Fortunately, Uncle Huan asked me to go to his company. At least our family's true wealth wasn't completely revealed. After signing, I left immediately and went straight to Uncle Huan's company. Seeing me arrive Uncle Huan waved me over. Come here, Mingxuan. Let me introduce you to someone. This is a top graduate we just hired. She's also a renowned investor. Don't let her young age fool you. She's already completed several successful projects. She brought in profits for the company during her internship. I looked at the capable young woman with short hair and nodded. Hello, I'm Liu Mingxuan. I'm Sule. All right, you young people get to know each other. You two will work on this project together. Try to secure that land in South City. I nodded. After receiving the materials, Sule and I analyzed them together. I thought it would be complicated. But Sule was very straightforward. The city is developing southwards. This land is actually quite difficult to get. I personally don't think it's a good idea. I'm more optimistic about the land in East City. Sule glanced at the map and immediately focused on East City. Indeed, a commercial district is forming there. There will be greater investment opportunities there, but both plots are owned. Let's give it a shot. Sule's eyes lit up. Sure. There's a charity gala tomorrow night. Mr. Ning will be there. The Mr. Ning she mentioned is the owner of both plots. He's looking for a beer, but no one is optimistic about it. But Sule and I were confident. Hearing my words Uncle Huan paused. How confident are you? What's the investment and expected return? 1.5 billion to acquire. Double the return. I'm confident. Uncle Huan raised an eyebrow. Mingsu and Uncle Huan didn't speak, so I said, trust me. These 2 plots of land are a guaranteed profit. I gave Uncle Huan a firm nod. If it doesn't work out the Liu family will bear the responsibility. Hearing me use the Liu family assets as a guarantee Uncle Huan immediately agreed. All right. If you succeed, I'll give you a 3% cut. No problem. I didn't really care about the money. I just wanted to prove myself, and for that, I needed results. Sule and I analyzed the pros and cons of both plots of land, and went to the charity gala the next day. To my surprise, I saw Shen Chu there, shamelessly accompanied by Lin Dao. They were wearing matching outfits, openly acknowledging their relationship. Seeing me Lin Dao smirked, and walked towards me. Well, if it isn't Mr. Ex-husband, which rich lady did you latch onto? He looked Sule up and down. He didn't recognize her. And seeing that Sule wasn't wearing designer clothes he showed a look of disdain. Liu Mingxuan is just a freeloader. He showed his true colors after leaving Chu. He took 3 million and couldn't even buy his girlfriend a decent outfit. Sule sized him up and said coldly, you're wearing last season's LH. If I'm not mistaken, it's from 5 years ago. Impressive that you dug it up. You can't even find it on second-hand platforms anymore. I didn't expect Sule to know about these brands. I laughed. Yeah, Chu didn't give you a title. And she's not even willing to spend money on you. You're worse off than me, at least when I was with Shen Chu. I bought my own clothes, not saying they were designer brands. But at least they were current season. Lin Dao's face turned livid. I have money. I don't need her to support me. What right do you have to be here, still trying to cling on? Shen Chu also looked displeased. Liu Mingxuan, I told you. Don't cling to me after we break up. How did you even get in here? Get out, or I'll call security. I glanced at Sule, who took out an invitation. Shen Chu was stunned. I waved my phone. If you keep talking, I won't be polite. I haven't deleted the video. Lin Dao's face turned pale. He pulled Shen Chu and persuaded her to leave. It seems he already knew. Shen Ling must have talked to him. I chuckled. A third party has no right to act so arrogant in front of me. Inside Shen Chu was like a fish in water, taking Lin Dao around and socializing. Some people saw me and felt awkward. But a few familiar old friends came over to me. Then I heard someone flattering Lin Dao. Lin Dao you've got yourself a beauty. Mr. Shen is so straightforward, dumping that freeloader. She's being generous enough. If I were Liu Mingsu and I would have left voluntarily out of shame. When are you two getting married? How shameless to talk about this in public. I sneered and watched from afar. Lin Dao, with a smug look on his face put his arm around Shen Chu's waist and glanced at me triumphantly. Of course, good things are coming. Everyone come to our wedding then. Definitely. Sule looked at me. Can you tolerate this? No. With that, I walked over. Lin Dao became even more arrogant. Mr. Ex-husband is here. Come. Let everyone meet the professional freeloader. Before he could finish, I raised my hand and punched him, knocking him to the ground. Shen Chu screamed, Liu Mingxuan, are you crazy? How could you hit him? I sneered, Shen Chu you're cheating. We haven't even gotten our divorce certificate yet. And you have the nerve to show your face in public. Your Shen family was once penniless. Now you have some money and you're openly keeping a mistress and acting so righteous. This is a first for me. What did you say? Who's the mistress? Lin Dao exploded. Of course it's you. I looked at Shen Chu. It's you. She couldn't hold back anymore. How dare you accuse me? What's your relationship with this woman? Colleagues. Shen Chu. Don't participate in the gala tonight. Go back. Don't embarrass yourself here. Shen Chu was furious. Why? It's not your gala. You have no right. You don't. But I do. At this moment, the crowd parted. Mr. and Mrs. Ning walked out. Mr. Ning looked at Shen Chu with a frown. I organized this charity gala. No one has ever dared to bring a mistress here and make a scene. Shen Chu, right? Someone, get them out of here. Shen Chu's face turned pale. I almost burst out laughing. I don't know if she was too arrogant or deliberately pretending not to know. Mr. and Mrs. Ning are deeply in love. They're a famously loving couple. Who would dare bring a mistress to an event like this? It's a slap in their face. I deliberately caused a scene tonight to let them know that gossip spreads. Without my guidance Shen Chu wouldn't even be able to get through the door. She opened her mouth, wanting to say something. But Mrs. Ning wasn't polite. She had security throw them both out. They instantly became a laughingstock. Those who were flattering them before now remained silent. Mrs. Ning smiled at me. Friendly. She looked familiar. Then it hit me. I'd seen her before. My mom had afternoon tea with her. My mom used to post about it on her social media. He appeared in them. But after I got married my mom would occasionally invite her to play mahjong. I was busy taking care of Shen Chu, so I didn't pay attention. When we found a quiet spot Mrs. Ning said, your mother and I are good friends in the Pear Blossom Society. Your mother founded the Pear Blossom Society. She always praises you, says you're smart. I didn't know if she was complimenting or mocking me, but I smiled anyway. Sule, on the other hand, got straight to the point, stating our purpose for being there. Mrs. Ning smiled. I knew you would come. Honey, you talk to them. I'll go greet the guests. Mr. Ning stayed. He was interested in our ideas. The three of us talked in the conference room for over an hour. When we came out, we saw Shen Chu and Lin Dao standing outside. Seeing us emerge Shen Chu immediately came up and tried to hit me. But I grabbed her wrist and flung her aside. What are you doing? Shen Chu regained her balance, looking at me in disbelief. Liu Mingxuan, you did this on purpose. How dare you lay your hands on me? What makes you so special? You've had it easy these past few years. Shen Chu, have you forgotten how you got where you are? Shen Chu gritted her teeth. Lin Dao said softly, Chu, don't mind him. Once we finish this project we'll be on top of the world. Crushing him will be as easy as crushing an ant. I laughed. Is that so? We'll see. With that, I pulled Sule away. Sule looked puzzled. Is your ex-wife always this blind? It took her a while to come up with that word. I sighed and nodded. I guess so. Just don't know when she became blind. Forget about her. Although we reached an agreement with Mr. Ning that night quickly acquiring those 2 plots of land wasn't so easy. The funding wasn't finalized yet, but Shen Chu and her team won the bid for the South City plot for 900 million. The Shen family put all their funds into it. Shen Chu successfully won the bid. Seeing this I frowned. She's not afraid of it backfiring at all. Shen Chu was triumphant, constantly posting about celebration parties on social media. She and Lin Dao were being praised, full of themselves. Even my former business partners called me, Mr. Liu, Shenchu is being too arrogant. We just agreed to renew our contract, and she wants us to reduce the price by 3%. Mr. Liu, we always had a good deal with you. We only had that price because you were supporting us. Now that she's gained power. She wants to kick us to the curb. These were suppliers who gave Shenchu discounts because of my father. But now Shenchu wants to lower the price even further. They'd already reduced their costs, and now she wants even lower prices. These suppliers couldn't take it anymore. I said, Shenchu and I are divorced. I'm at Uncle Huang's company now. If you're interested, you can come to me. I spread the word, and my former business partners came to me. Shenchu somehow found out I was at Huanxi Enterprises, and immediately called me. Liu Mingxuan, you did this on purpose. You dare steal my clients. I mocked her. Your clients were originally the Liu families. They're just choosing a better tree to roost in. Your big company looks down on them. But you can't expect them to starve, can you? Shenchu, if you have time, focus on maintaining client relationships. Don't lose all your clients. You'll regret it. This was my last piece of advice to her. But Shenchu didn't care. She just mocked me. Just you wait. I'll make you regret this. I don't know about regret. I was just thinking about how we'd be getting our divorce certificate in half a month. I couldn't wait to see her get what she deserved. The next 2 weeks went by without incident. Mr. Ning and I reached an agreement, 1.5 billion for both plots. And we invited Mr. Ning to participate in the design. Uncle Huan was very clear on one thing. He offered my dad a cut. They were old friends, and he was initially doing this to help me. My dad didn't take the money. My dad is a famously loyal man in the business world. A true man of honor, a chivalrous spirit. He met my mom because of his loyalty. That's why my mom chose him. He carried this personality into his business dealings, and now he's giving up such a big piece of the pie. Everyone in the industry praised him, but Shenchu didn't know. She thought I was relying on Uncle Huang and mocked me everywhere. Seeing her belittle me so recklessly. Everyone looked at her like she was a fool. Sule and I worked well together. In 2 weeks, we cornered Shenchu. We had sufficient funds, plus my dad's help, both overt and covert. Although he didn't step in directly, at least many people knew about the bad blood between our families. No one dared to cross us. Shenchu was at her wit's end. But she'd seen the world, and was still holding on. Now I'm curious. Lin Dao said he had a powerful background and connections. What kind of background? I haven't seen it yet. Half a month later, I called Shenchu to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get our divorce certificate. Shenchu was 3 hours late. I was worried, thinking she'd change her mind. When she finally showed up. I was relieved. I thought you weren't coming. Shenchu gritted her teeth. Are you that eager to divorce me? My heart skipped a beat. Are you kidding? You slept with someone else. Should I stay married to you for the new year? Cut the crap. Don't tell me you're having second thoughts. Still thinking about me? Then let's not get divorced. Hearing this. She scoffed. In your dreams. She dragged me to get the certificate. I suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. Last time, we only completed half the procedure. Lin Dao even came with her. This time, we officially got the divorce certificate. Lin Dao didn't show up, probably to avoid suspicion. I didn't think too much about it. Half an hour later, we got the divorce certificate. I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Shenchu glared at me. Just you wait. I waved at her, and turned to leave. Sule was waiting for me in the car, seeing Shenchu gritting her teeth. I was in a great mood. Now it's hunting time. Shenchu bet everything on that 900 million, even taking out a bank loan. She probably doesn't know yet. That this is a long-term development, requiring a lot of investment. The Shen family probably can't handle it in their current state. But before, my family was always there to back her up. My dad even secretly filled the gaps, so she thought she was very capable. But now that our two families are separated, she can't find any source of funding. The bank rejected her loan application. Shenchu was stunned, running around like a headless chicken, begging everyone for help. When I heard the news. I smiled. Why doesn't she ask Lin Dao for help? Sule looked at me gossipingly. You haven't heard. Lin Dao is a bankrupt rich kid. Specifically targeting rich women. He miscalculated this time. He swindled 5 million from Shenchu and tried to run. Shenchu found out, and they had a huge fight, even called the police. I heard many people are resigning from her company. Some regret not joining you. I laughed. You reap what you sow. Alright, forget about her, let's focus on our own work. Is that proposal I asked you to do ready? Sule sighed. You're such an evil capitalist. I went on to business trips this week, and you want me to make 3 proposals? The capable ones do more. I'll give you a raise. Uncle Juan already said ... You're a rare business talent. Hurry up and give me the proposals. We'll have a nice dinner later, my treat. My words finally cheered her up. Despite her serious demeanor ... She's still a young woman. We work very well together, we're a good team. 3 months later ... We announced the groundbreaking of the high-end residential area. Shen Chu saw my name among the shareholders and immediately rushed over. By then, she was heavily in debt. Seeing me, she pushed through the crowd and lunged at me. Liu Mingxuan, you lied to me. Your family is so rich. You tricked me into divorcing you. You're a monster. I pushed her away and dusted off my clothes in disgust. What did I lie to you about? Did I lie about my feelings or your money? Or did I lie about the investment? Weren't you the one who didn't want children and messed around with a fake rich kid? Shen Chu, don't think you're so important that I would waste my time scheming against you. Shen Chu's face turned pale. Sule smiled. Mr. Liu ... We can go for the ribbon-cutting ceremony now. I'll handle this. Sule pushed me towards the ribbon-cutting ceremony and had her people stop Shen Chu. Shen Chu glared at Sule. Don't think I don't know ... You're only after his money. Let me tell you, I've tried that. It doesn't work. I was too far away. I didn't know what Sule said to her. I only saw her make a gesture, and Shen Chu's face turned pale. She hurriedly left. After the ribbon-cutting ceremony ... I asked Sule what she said. Sule, my dear director ... I just showed her that video and posted it online. I told her to contact the media for damage control. I was surprised. You're ruthless, of course. Chairman Huang said ... An unreliable woman like that, once she sees you rise again, she definitely come crawling back to solve this once and for all ... We need to completely destroy her reputation. Then she won't dare come back. I took a deep breath and sigh. Sule looked at me. Do you know what Shen Chu said about you? She said, if you weren't rich ... she wouldn't have been with you. So you're the foolish, rich type, huh? I flicked her forehead. Seems like you didn't work hard enough last night. Pack your things and go develop the new market. I'll give you a 30% raise. Sule wailed. You truly are an evil capitalist. I smiled. I'm not a saint. I truly loved Shen Chu when we were together. Plus, it was my first love. I didn't know how cruel the world could be. Now I've learned my lesson. I better focus on making money. There are plenty of compatible women out there, but I won't be so foolish again. Shen Chu tried to contact me a few times later, but I had someone deal with her. She finally realized the gap between us. Looking up to me while feeling ashamed, I had someone bring Lin Dao over and let those two fight like dogs. I'm finally free.